Hey everyone, wanted to do a solo podcast today, kind of a short one, and just chat about some things that I've been thinking about and see if it maybe resonates with you or gives you some ideas. Just want to help and share what I've been thinking. The first thing I want to go over because they talked about it on My First Million, which is what I think is the best kind of entrepreneurial podcast. They've talked about local newsletters before, and they talked about something that I wrote about 2 weeks ago. They talked about it this week, which is the idea of local MrBeast style content or regional MrBeast, as I had written about. And so I think this concept is very interesting. Let's just start off the bat. It's probably quite difficult to do this. You have to have the right person, the right energy, the right connections with local businesses. This is not something that's probably just going to come super easy. You can do tomorrow, but of course, the fact that it's a little bit hard can be your moat, right? This is not something anybody can replicate. But thinking big picture here, what we're doing at a local level in so many ways is doing things that work nationally, work at the big picture, but we're just doing in our local area, which is, 5, 10 years behind the rest of the world and everything going on. So thinking about how I think about what we all do is, creator led modern local media companies or local newsletters. Um, we're creator led doing creator type of things about our local area. So if you say the MrBeast, the viral type things on social media, whether YouTube or short form, these aren't really happening very much locally. But why not? Like I don't know why this kind of stuff would not work at a local level. Actually, in fact, I think it would work extremely well. And it's been proven a few times already. And I want to show you what they talked about on My First Million, um, which is really interesting because I had actually emailed the person they talked about the week before because I noticed this, which is because I've hung out with him before. He's a good guy in South Carolina. We've even talked about local newsletters before, and is been going all in on content, video content about his roofing company. And so what happened was this video that he did, which I will play here in a second. Somebody posted it on Twitter, so in the business Twitter community saw it, and it went pretty viral on Twitter. It also clearly went viral, at least minorly so, but still pretty legitimate. I mean, this video got 700,000 views in 2 weeks for him. And what he did here, I'll let you watch it for a second. Hopefully the volume comes through, but it should be kind of clear what he's doing. So he's trying to get her to pay. She got a new roof, and he's asking her to pay. So now in this case, he is the roofer himself. This is not being done as a media company, right? This is just him as Cole and his roofing company that he did this for her, and he's filming the content and he's doing everything himself. And it's obviously working extremely well. I think he started his channel maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I think, and he's already got 35,000 subscribers plus this huge video. It went viral on YouTube and on Twitter. I assume TikTok or Instagram too. I did not check, but I think this concept could crush for us. And so again, I haven't worked this all through. How does this work? What am I literally saying? What would you do? I mean, there's so many ideas and options. I mean, the first thing to think about is what are they doing what is MrBeast doing? What are people like him doing? What is working nationally? And how can you do it locally? I mean, another obvious play here would be the man on the street interviews, that concept, right? How could you apply that concept that seems to be very popular on social media and especially short form? How do you do that locally, right? So I think those are just the first two that jump out at me. And in this case, why I think this is so exciting is he had success with this without a media company. But if you think about your roofer in your town who's not as smart as Cole, not as entrepreneurial, doesn't understand media, A, they would never think of this. B, even if you told them about it, they would say, how would I do this? I have no idea. And so what we can bring to them is say, okay, we will do all of this for you. We will do the filming. We'll give you the concepts. We'll tell you what to say. We'll do the editing. We'll share it on our media company channels, give it to them to share too. But realistically, the idea is the virality would come from our local media company in your local area, right? So I think this kind of content could work better for us than it did for him. Um, because we have potentially, if you're building this and if you already have a big enough brand, this is you already have the eyeballs of the town, right? And so that's what these people want. Now, of course, the downside to this model, A, the effort always is one, but B, getting, if you're not a roofer, of course, like Cole, he just decided to give it away. I think he even takes some donations for it, but is getting a roofer or a, call it a high ticket, necessity, whether it's a new, HVAC for new air conditioning, or somebody fixing up a car that was damaged for $4,000 and the people, needed help with that, all these kinds of things. Convincing those people that this is worth doing is probably going to be the hardest part. But I would bet you for a lot of these high ticket businesses where leads are so valuable to them, marketing is so valuable and expensive, high LTV businesses, you should be able to find one or two, whether it's the bigger ones or the smarter ones, who are willing to do this. So anyway, I think the high level here is just local MrBeast, taking the concepts that are working nationally and figure out how to do them locally, I think has a lot of potential. And if anyone is doing this, if you've done it before, if you want to do it, please let me know. I'm happy to chat with anyone. By the way, we have the free Discord open. Again, this is kind of why I opened this Discord. I want to hear from you who are watching this if you're already doing this. I mean, there's already, I think we have almost 100 people in there. And I've already gotten messages from people saying they're doing things that I want to hear from. I've already messaged these people to try to chat with them because people are doing such interesting things. So if you do this or want to do it, go give it a shot, connect with me, jump in the Discord. I want to hear from you. Okay. Second topic I want to go over, which is similar, but not the same, is local memes. Okay. So if you think about the power of memes, you probably are aware of this if you're watching this video, but if you're not, memes is really just they're a way to communicate ideas in a much more interesting and fun way. And that's why they're so popular, right? And memes generally crush, I'm on business Twitter and I do see some crypto Twitter stuff. And, memes are just like almost how these people communicate ideas. It's like they are so much more engaging and interesting way than, just text or of course a video that would take longer to watch. So people love memes because they get the ideas across very quickly as well. How do we, again, same as the MrBeast stuff, how do we take this concept that works extremely well at a cultural level, national level, even worldwide level, and bring it directly to the local level? So I know we've had Jacob Espinoza on before who talked about, I think it was the first episode with him, he talked about how he was using memes when he first started, local memes, and it worked really well. So there's some proof there. This one right here came from my episode that just came out and from Kansas City Daily. And he did this one where all he did was, I think he said AI did this pretty quickly. I imagine if you tried, you could probably make an image like this pretty quickly with AI, taking the Stranger Things, logo, make it say Kansas City, turn Kansas City upside down. And he did this at the time, which I guess was last week or something, that Stranger Things started up again. So it's not even funny. Obviously, this isn't funny. It's just like interesting, right? About the cultural moment of everybody talking about Stranger Things and relating that to local. And as you can see here, he got, over 1,000 more likes in the last day when I looked at this yesterday. 18,000 likes. He just did this a few days ago. I mean, this is crazy, right? So now again, this one, how often we have such a cultural moment like Stranger Things and the ability to do this. I mean, nationally, there are a lot of things always happening, right? And so while trying to avoid the crazy political stuff, obviously, how can you capitalize on trends and memes and concepts that are going viral and just adapt it to a local area? I know the other big example that happened, I think it was 6 months ago or so, I think maybe Jacob was the one who started it. I think he told me about it, was when one of these, what was it, like a comet or something flew by the Earth, I don't know, sometime last year or earlier this year. And it was like, okay, well, that comet will be back. We won't see that comet again for 80 years or something like that. It was going to come by again in 80 years. And he came up with a post that was like, oh, when the comet gets back, hopefully Highway 126 will be finally finished. Something like that, kind of silly, but like poking fun at the fact that they take forever to build the highways. And it crushed. And then I know somebody else did it, like literally copy and pasted what he did and just changed the whatever the road or the project was in their town and use the exact same concept, and it crushed there. I think a bunch of people use this idea. So again, I'm loving this idea. I actually talked to two comedians recently. If anybody, I found some comedians on Upwork that I'm trying to see if they can work with me on this because I'm struggling. I'm just not funny enough to pull this off. If any of you are really funny who are watching this and you think you could do this in a way that would apply in any location, kind of like the Comet one or this one, message me. Again, jump in the Discord, message me because I'd be very interested in potentially working with you. So local memes, I think, is a killer idea. Taking things that are already viral, already interesting, putting local spin on them, and there you go. So that's the idea. All right. Oh, real quick. Also, let me show you this. One way to do this, and easy. It's still not easy because you still got to be funny. But like, if you want to get ahead of the crowd, there's this software called memelord.com, which Jason Levin started. I was a user when he first launched it as kind of a side project kind of thing. And now he raised a bunch of money for this. It's actually kind of a big deal. So if you're really interested in this and wanting to kind of play with this, again, this is actually kind of fun outside of local media to just see all the funny memes that are going on. I mean, like, what's the, I don't know what this was, Spotify or something. Everybody's posting those. You can make something funny. What's this one? Yeah, the year you love that. I don't know what that one is. Spotify probably. All these year-end things. Well, he gives you the background so that you can put whatever funny thing you want on it. Like, what's this one? Yeah, your listening age. I saw that one a bunch. So, you could change the word listening to something else. Like, he just kind of gives you all the templates here. I'll post the link in my in the description here. Sign up with my link. I think I'll get 10% or something if you do, just to help me, because why not? But either way, this is kind of a cool, fun thing to play with if you're interested in memes. All right. Want to go over real quick my software, just show you guys. Sorry, quick little sales pitch. Here is what my software looks like, just to kind of give you guys some ideas. So thinking through here, this section, the content managers, is really the key component amongst others, but is that all of the content can come right in our software. So you connect RSS feeds to it, and then you get all of the news in your area, and then you can edit it and rewrite it with your own custom GPTs, right? So many of you are already doing this. You take an article, you take a Facebook post, have a custom GPT for it, go put it in Chat GPT, bring it, et cetera, et cetera. It's just all built in. We have AI built in with custom GPTs. You can have UGC content. So like you can post out there for locals, hey, write me content. They can do it. So you would just put this form in your newsletter and say, hey, if you want to create content for me, do it. And then if they fill this out, it will just be populated right here. And you can add it to the newsletter, which, by the way, you go like this. So you would select whatever. Okay, I want these 3 stories that I rewrote. You hit add to issue and you pick the date you want it to go, and you're done. And then we do the same thing with ads. You can give them the form for this. We have partner. This is, most of you probably wouldn't use this. This is for me, same as UGC, but for my partners. And then here's the key. We have events. So this is probably the thing you guys are most interested in. So all the events coming in, same thing. You can rewrite them with this button here to be in your style. And then you would do the same thing. You would just add them to whatever issue. And then here's what the builder looks like. And then they all would just populate in here. So let me show you a couple of the thing we just did that you all should be interested in, because I see most people just aren't doing real estate well, in my opinion. Look at what we built, which I'm so stoked about. So you hit / and then you hit Zillow, and then it comes up here, add a Zillow listing. You can either just whichever house you want to feature, or you can even use this. Let's see, say Leander, and then we'll say price search. It pulls up all the houses. So you could filter by price, which I normally would do, but okay, let's say we wanted to feature this house. Boom, here are all the details about it. Here are all the photos. So you just pick one, because we only do one for now. And then you hit which one is it? Again, this is how we do it now. We can adjust this later, but for mine, let's say deal, you hit apply. And then boom, this card that looks beautiful, it says deal, gives you all the details about the house, the address, and the price right here. So you can see this is how if you've seen my newsletters, you probably have, this is how we do real estate. And I'm very excited about this, because that was a huge pain. I mean, that takes, 20 minutes an issue to make these in Canva. Well, now it's instant, right? So anyway, let me see, is there anything else? And then you just would export it to Beehive, or technically whatever other provider you use. Here's the scheduler settings. Here's the prompts. See, this is how you kind of do the rewriting. None of this is that exciting, but that's how it works. Okay. Awesome. If you're interested, sign up on the wait list. I will put it in here. It's called Local Newsletter OS, localnewsletteros.com. Sign up for the wait list. If you're on the wait list when I make this go live, which should be early January, you will get a legitimate discount. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be yet, but just do that. You'll be in touch and you'll be one of the first users, and I will appreciate it a ton. All right. Awesome. Let's see. Next thing I want to go over is, I don't really have a video. You don't have to watch the screen for this one. Is state or potentially even countrywide newsletters. So this came up on Twitter, and it first came up from Nate Spangle, who is doing an Indiana newsletter while also doing, I think he has 3 like kind of more local newsletters and then the state newsletter. And this is something I had been thinking about in the past, trying to figure out how could it work. But the more I think about it from what he's doing, the success he's having, and just really putting more thought into it, I think there is potentially a play for a state newsletter. I mean, we'll call it local, but it's okay. Maybe it's, I guess not. So it's a state newsletter where you are covering all the big things happening in your state. So things that matter more than just like local events or fun things to do or this restaurant open, but more like, like, oh, in Arizona, Intel just decided they're going to spend, $4 billion building another plant in Chandler, or here are the 3 best, Northern Arizona places to go in the summer when it's too hot, things like this. I think there is a play there. And the reason really boils down to a lot of what we talked about on Nate's episode. So number one, let's go with the pros, right? There's obvious cons, but let's start with pros. Number one, your audience size your TAM is way bigger. So you can run ads over the whole state and capture more of an audience. So that's an obvious win. Number two, there's more content. There's more things going on. Should be a lot, relatively easy to find content. I guess what you choose to write about will be the harder part, but that's, not that big of a deal. And the real reason to do this potentially is building a regional media brand, right? So if you just have one newsletter in your one town, or even if you had 2 in the 2 neighboring towns, that is small enough that some of the bigger regional businesses like the power company, like the water company, like the, big insurance marketing firm for the whole state, like what, Nate has as an advertiser, they wouldn't be interested. Well, they might, but less likely in a single location or, 2 small parts of a city, of a bigger city. Your odds of getting their attention and getting them interested is smaller. But if you can say you have a statewide audience, that is going to interest them. And that is one of the reasons that I think Nate is making a lot of money compared to most local newsletter creators, is because he has statewide attention, and the big statewide organizations or businesses are willing to pay him. And again, another way to think about this is the bigger companies, like, again, in his case, the statewide marketing team for a big insurance company, they have way more money to spend on their marketing budget, significantly more, to the point where they probably wouldn't want to advertise if you offered them $500 a month. They would say it's not worth our time, right? So they want to spend $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, maybe more, because then they can justify it to their bosses, right? You always have to remember, this is probably another topic I should do on the sales side, specifically of when you're selling to a local business, when they give you money, that's money in their head that they're thinking, well, if I don't give it to this guy, I can take that and go buy something for my family or buy something for my house. Where if you're with a bigger organization, you're just talking to the marketing person who literally has a budget that they have to spend within reason. They can't just say, oh, well, this month I just didn't feel like marketing like that. They wouldn't have a job if they did that. And so you want to be getting in front of those types of businesses that have PR teams, they have marketing teams, or they have an agency that they work with who they have a budget that they need to spend. And you want to convince them, I am worth spending a small portion of that budget on. And if you have a statewide media company, you become more interesting to those people. So again, I'm not saying everybody should do this. I'm not doing it yet. I'm thinking about how it would be done, because again, the content side gets harder. Local is relatively easy to figure out the content, which is why so many of us are doing it. So it would be harder, but I also think it would pay off. So something to consider there. And then of course the countrywide newsletter idea. Again, I do not think this would work in the US, but, and most of you watching this are probably in the US or the UK or Canada. I doubt it would work there. But, if you think of some of the smaller European countries or maybe Central America, I don't know, maybe it would. It's kind of interesting. So those of you listening from abroad, like, is there a possibility of a countrywide or, maybe, like in the Canadian idea, like provinces, like, which let's say those generally are much larger than a state. Maybe there is a play there. So just wanted to throw that one out there for anybody trying to think through ideas here. So, all right, I think that's all I had for this one. If you have any ideas or questions, please let me know. Best way now is to just jump in the Discord. It's free. Shoot me messages, questions. I'm happy to help. We'll probably do another. We did our first office hours, which is great. Had a bunch of great people on sharing interesting ideas. So jump in there, jump on the local newsletter os.com waitlist. And if you're somebody watching this and you want help, whether consulting, if you want me to do your meta ads, or if you want to partner with me to kind of essentially be your back end for your media company so that you don't have to worry about anything related to ads or Beehive or any of these, the back end tech side or concept side or design side. I do that for people. It's on the website, localmediahq.com, or message me, and happy to chat about it. All right. Thanks, everyone.